So, for loops. These are a little more complicated because if you break it down in terms of execution, right? When we want to execute our for loop, the first thing we have to do is look at our initializer here, all right? So we'll essentially execute this part here. And then for each loop, we need to basically check this condition. If this condition fails, then we need to jump down here to the end of our block, essentially. Otherwise, we need to execute the block inside. And then at the end of our block, we then want to execute this piece here, right? So we've got jumps in our virtual machine that we need to handle. Like we didn't handle those before. We decided to leave them for now. So we basically got to do those next. And this also introduces continuum break as well, which also introduce jumps. So this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. And I kind of know how my for loops will work, and I have my C# reference, but they're a little bit weird to explain, and yeah, hopefully you'll understand as we're going through it. We'll see. Either way, like I said, this ain't a tutorial. It's just me vibe coding, I guess is the right term. So first of all, before we can do any of that, we need to actually be able to parse our for loops, right? So in parse statement, no, or is it parse? Yeah. So we're basically gonna match for return parse for loop. And for this, let me copy this from my C++ version, C# version, sorry. Yeah, and then we'll do this like go as well. Like the close an HTML tag. What? So, essentially, we've already matched 4 at this point. This does consume the token, right? Yeah. So we basically, if our next token is a bracket, then that means we're handling the regular for statement. Otherwise, we're handling the C style for loops. Do we have a parse block function? I don't believe we do. So we're basically going to output an std vector of statements. Let's see, what did this autocomplete for us here? So, well, we're not at the end of file. Let's change this. We don't match our closing bracket, and we're not at the end of the file, then yeah, we'll just keep passing the statement. And I don't think we need to do this. So hold on a second. So yeah, now we can just return a new for statement. For this, we need a constructor. Excuse me. So this one, if it's a regular one, then we only need to set body, right? Otherwise, we need to do the whole shebang. So we'll have it should not be pointers. Statement. Yeah, it knows. There we go. We're gonna have to fix these eventually. It's starting to get annoying. So now for this, we expect to have a open. Now, now for our init, if it starts with a, actually, are we gonna do that? I think we need to. I'll pass an expression. We need to pass let statement. Yeah, we expect a semicolon. A condition, is that the same? Pass an expression. And our step, we want to pass a statement. Now for this one, we don't need that. We just need to expect the closing. And we want to pass our block, and then we can return our for statement. Excuse me. And I believe that should work. We're going to change this now to, what do we call the file? For loops. So let's see if we can even pass correctly. Unexpected character. Did we not handle less than and such? We did not. So if less than, less equal, otherwise less. Okay. Expected equal. Can I ignore this one? I don't think I can disable for specific breakpoint exception, sorry. That's fine now. So now we haven't handled if statements. I guess it's fine for now. What we'll do is Let's just comment those out for now. Bring these back. And now we'll also comment out this one. Let's just get our basics working. Okay, did we not handle comments in Alexa? And that's right. Okay, unknown statement. So, good. Let me turn this off. I mean, we're going to skip those. It does. So, yes, the code gen part. So, for statement. These are definitely a little more complicated. And we're going to need a couple of things as well here. So we're going to want std stack of std vector int break stack. And then we're going to want a continue stack. And I believe actually, do we need those? I think to handle actually I'm not sure. We'll just one step at a time. So our for statement, let's just start with it. So if we have an init, then we want to emit in a statement for our init. We need to keep track of our loop, our basically our program counter position, instruction position, whatever you want to call it, for where our loop begins. And then we're gonna push to our break stack and our continue stack as well. Use in place. Now can we use optional? Jump if false index. Now, if our for statement condition isn't null, then we need to emit our expression for that. And then we set our index here. And now we want to essentially emit our jump if false opcode. Okay, I think we will need to make. Let me just check something real quick. Yeah. We're gonna need class instruction jump. Believe that will be fine. Now, jump if false to our loop start. Actually, sorry, this should just be 0. We're gonna patch this after. Because right now we don't know where this instruction is because we've not finished writing them. So now, yeah, for our body, we omit all of our statements. And then we need to handle our continue. If we have an increment, then we omit that statement. And then we need a jump instruction. That's fine. I don't care about that cast issue. Now here, loop end. And yeah, if our jump if false has a value, we now want to patch that. So we'll essentially do we need to dynamic cast this? Yeah, so then we'll set the new, so for this here that we basically set up where we emit this one with an index of 0. We're essentially down here now at our end. We're just gonna update that index for the jump so it knows where to go to. And then we need to do our yeah, I think that's right. Is that right? Yep. We do the breaks and then we do the continues. Hmm. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I think that's right. Do we need to pop the breaks? I think we do. I think we're missing that. So now we basically need to handle our return statements and our break statements. I believe we have those in here. Yeah, break and continue. So in our parser. All we're gonna do, we might as well handle the return. Makes sense to do it while we're here, right? Let me just check. Yeah. So I believe that'll be right. And then if match continue, I believe we just return this, same for break, and they should be fine. Now in our code gen, these ones are quite simple. So return statement, if we have a value, then we'll just emit an expression for it, and then emit opcode return, and for our break, I think we just do this. Yep. That one should be fine, and I believe continue is basically the same. Oh, let's see what happens. I think, yeah, we're just gonna crash because we gotta do the VM code. Missed that part. So for the VM, first of all, where are we here? So the jump will basically just straight up set our opcode to the index. Jump if false. We're essentially gonna pop off our stack and yeah, val as ball. If that passes, we set our counter to the index we passed in the jump. We'll also handle case opcode return. Shit, there's an error for now. We need to actually handle this properly. And now let's see. Unknown statement. Where is that again? Oh, we didn't return that at the bottom here. Okay, We must have done something wrong because that is just constantly... So here, it's a good chance that our variable assignment stuff here isn't actually working correctly. Which I think is actually the case. How do we debug you? We're calling that? The store var only gets called once. Okay, this is likely a parser issue. Yeah. I can't remember if we skipped something with variable assignments. Oh, it looks like we handled those. Now code gen. Oh wait, hold on. Wasn't this supposed to be expression left? There we go. That's something was strange. Okay, now out of curiosity, just to compare performance, I'm gonna introduce these scope functions again. So in our VM down here. Start scope time. So what we're going to need here is I guess we'll just store a map for now. String to a scope timer. The only problem is timers push. Wait, timers not. Label timer. And then on end scope time, I believe that's right. Oh, does our parser not handle top level blocks right now? Did I do this on my other one? I did. If match an open bracket and return oh, I'm probably gonna have to process this in the cogen. Yep. Oh, what the hell happened there? um, is that these? Oh, where is it? So that will call the destructor anyway, so we don't need to do that. Maybe that's why. Yeah. A little bit different to C# in the way that they work. Can we put those back? Yeah, totally fine. Okay, so 500 microseconds. Now, if we do 1,000 loops, okay, that took a lot of time. What if there's no login? Okay, not bad. Right. Oh, that'll be because the original scope. Excuse me. Um, yeah, so 600 microseconds. That's actually really good. Like this one before, I think was 800 in C#. Um, so that's good. Now let's test. Actually missing our if statements, so we can't really test this one until we have our if statements. However, though, we could probably at least see what happens when we run it, right? Change this back to 10. Um, Maybe we have an issue parsing this. Oh wait, this is supposed to be false. Oh, we got segfault. Interesting. So if for statement in it doesn't equal null pointer, but hold on. Ah, how does it have? We need to explicitly set the others to null, maybe? We shouldn't have to, right? Yeah, I guess we do. Okay, that was really weird. But the infinite loop definitely works. So in the next one, we'll basically tackle the if statements, and then we'll be able to properly test our breaks and continues and stuff. We're slowly getting there, almost. See you in the next one.